How do your gifts declare your identity? Now, we know that those that are led by the Spirit, they are the sons and daughters of God. But we frame the idea of being led from a very distinct perspective. We look at being led as guided, directed. He leads us into all truth. He gives us revelation. And all of that is absolutely accurate and a necessity, something we should pursue and grow in for the rest of our lives. When I say I routinely engage with the Holy Spirit, I'm not talking throughout the week, I'm talking throughout the day. Increasingly, I bring even the smallest things to the Holy Spirit because I've come to the realization I want more of His direction, His perspective than of my own. And while that doesn't mean that I always get clarity, I always recognize what He's saying to me, I'm growing in that practice with the recognition. I'm also growing in the confidence of when He's speaking to me. I want you to take that idea of being led and expand it to engaging with the Holy Spirit. That those who engage with the Holy Spirit, they are the sons and daughters of God. Which leads to how your gifts declare your identity. Now, in a moment, I'm going to give you two very counterintuitive truths to facilitate your success. But first, understanding what the gifts are. Every believer has supernatural gifts, whether you realize it or not. And number one, and this is just a few aspects. One is it's evidence of the Holy Spirit activity in your life. So even if we don't realize what our gifts are, when we are applying ourselves, when we're functioning, others recognize the Holy Spirit in us. It's, again, part of that declaring our identity. Number two, they're absolutely unique. God does everything on a personal basis. So while your gifts may be similar to someone else's, they are absolutely uniquely given to you by the Holy Spirit, and it's that supernatural empowerment to impact the natural. And it's the understanding that when you function in your gift, it's to build up and lift up, to bring life and hope to others, which leads to the understanding that, remember, calling is the invitation to apply yourself, which highlights why the assignments in your life are so valuable as the opportunity for that gift to touch others and declare your identity. But one, what's the first counterintuitive truth? You don't need to know what your gift is. And in fact, not knowing may be a distinct advantage. Now, the faith aspect is trusting, whether you feel it, see it, recognize it or not, that when you're applying yourself, that gift is coming to the surface. That you don't need to understand. You don't need to know what it is for it to function. And in fact, while we have this desire, we have this idea that the more we understood it, somehow we would be better at it, when in fact, it brings limitation. The more we think we understand it, the more we begin to operate in our strength and abilities rather than allowing the Holy Spirit to be the one at work. Number two, the more we frame it, put it in a box of what it is, we bring that limitation. Remember, everything God does grows. That God has told us to desire greater. He's told us that he who has and uses what he has will be given more. The more we try to put it in a box, the more we limit what God would do in the future. So the faith aspect of it is just trusting, whether we see it or not, God is at work, which leads to counterintuitive truth number two, whether we see the result or not. One of the most freeing things is the recognition you're not responsible for the result. We are only responsible to respond to the call, to respond to the invitation and apply ourselves. And in that context, God is entirely responsible for the result. One plants, another waters, but God gives the increase. All we have to do is, second faith aspect, is apply ourselves, trusting that God is working, that God is producing the results he wants in the time he wants, whether we see it or not. Now, the beauty of that is also God produces the desired outcome. He gets the glory, and we receive the blessing. in due time. So, 3 final thoughts. Hebrews tells us to be diligent to enter into his rest. And what does that mean? Rather than trying to work at what our gift is, just recognize, just relax, accept by faith when we apply ourselves, whatever the assignment is, which highlights how important the assignments are in your life. They're the opportunity to release what God has placed in you for his desired result. So resting is not trying to make something happen, just faithfully applying yourself. Number 2, it highlights how valuable every assignment is. Nothing is random. Each is an opportunity for God's power to be released. And 3, it does declare your identity. All of creation eagerly awaits the revealing of the children of God when we are engaging with the Holy Spirit. Whether we recognize it or not, we're just simply applying ourselves. Your gifts are declaring your identity as a child of the living God. For more empowerment content, hit like and subscribe. But if you want to go further, check out our Young Warriors program at the God-powered website. Discover and grow in your identity, your calling, and your empowerment. Embrace all that God has for you and be empowered to lead and succeed at the God-powered website.